What's up, YouTube? The Comic Chief is in the house, and we're finally finishing up Jason Aaron's Avengers, the final host story arc. This issue's cover art was drawn by Ed McGuinness, Mark Morales, and Jason Keith, with the interior art done by Mark Morales and Juan Velasco. So the cover art is fantastic and features our current Avengers racing toward their final host battle. Our opening pages feature other superheroes waiting as the Avengers are about to finish their battle. So we see the Unseen on the moon, Starbrand looking for a new host, Iron Fist battling the Horde, Jean Grey having visions, Wakandians praying, and Odin sitting on his throne waiting for the long-awaited battle to end. We pick up where we left off in issue number 5 with giant-sized Thor and She-Hulk, alongside Celestial, Ghost Rider, and the Mark II Godkiller, and they're battling the final host with full force. So there's a 2-page spread that reminds me of a Godzilla versus King Kong battle, or maybe even a Power Rangers episode with Zords fighting giant-sized monsters. And we see their massive size battling in a town in Russia, towering over small houses and innocent bystanders everywhere. We see Captain America, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, and Captain America battling the Horde, while Doctor Strange is using magic versus magic against the deceptive Loki. There's a lot going on in various panels, but we can see that the battle isn't one-sided at all, and the Avengers are neck and neck against the Dark Celestials. When we think they are winning against the Dark Celestials, we see how powerful the final host is, because even 3 against 1, the full force of the final host is great. My favorite art in this book still involves Celestial Ghost Rider. When he places the final host in a chokehold, it kind of shows how badass he is. We finally learn the names of the people responsible for driving the final host. Obliteron, Valkner, and Callus, the Void. They are the leaders of the final host and the evil villains that the Avengers must stop to defeat the final host. The final host is so powerful, they break one of the Godkiller's arms off onto the ground, bringing us back onto the battle on the ground. And a final push from the Horde shows dozens, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, well, all the Horde coming from underneath the ground and ready to make their last stand. We see them coming up not to only where the Avengers are, but also all over the world. We actually have a nice panel with Captain Britain making his stand against the Horde. Okay, YouTube. I'm all for an action-packed issue, but it feels overwhelming at times with this issue. Like, too much is going on. Hulk goes toe-to-toe with one of the Dark Celestials, and the battle is explosive. And immediately we cut to Celestial Ghost Rider, where he's overwhelmed with Horde crawling into his mind, and Godkiller Iron Man making an attempt to carry one of the Dark Celestials into space, sacrificing himself and blowing himself up. But that doesn't go as planned. He tried to give the Avengers a fighting chance. However, as he makes for an escape, he's captured by the Dark Celestials and electrified in place. We soon learn that the dead Celestials that fell onto the Earth issues ago are now zombie Celestials fighting for the final host. So the Avengers, they're outnumbered. They're overwhelmed. She-Hulk and Thor's giant sizes were coming to a halt, and the Godkiller was defeated. As Loki battles the Avengers and hope seems to be lost, we learn that the plan all along was to use the Avengers to fight the Horde. And the Dark Celestials allowed the people of Earth to grow and evolve on the Earth since the progenitor was there that 4 billion years ago, because the Avengers, or Earth humans, inhabitants, I don't know, the Avengers, they were to be used as an antivirus to defeat the Horde once and for all. Black Panther comes up with this brilliant idea for all the Avengers to combine their powers to be used as a tool to defeat the final host. Iron Man has a revelation from his last encounter with the Eternal, Icarus, and says the only way to save the world is for all the Avengers to literally combine. To do that, they perform the Eternal's Unimind ceremony. Unimind, which it was actually first used in Jack Kirby's Eternals number 12. That's a fun fact. So, to combine their mind into Celestial Ghost Rider's body. So, as I've said earlier in this recap, too much is happening too fast. I had to read some of the pages 2 to 3 times to figure out what was going on. All the Avengers combined their powers, and there were actually some funny humor built into the sequence. Okay, YouTube, as Unimind Ghost Rider is making his final stand, we hear Robbie Reyes make references to the Ebony Blade bleeding, which by the way is tremendously connected to the Black Knight. And as of today, there are rumors that he is going to be joining the MCU sooner than later, probably in Endgame. So seeing these Easter eggs in the comic now, it's exciting. But yes, I think the Avengers team is definitely centered around Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider, and he makes his final push for what he is truly fighting for, which seems so basic, so genuine though. His brother Gabe. Everything he's doing is to keep his brother safe. Everything he's done thus far. So he defeats the final host in a final blow and screams out, "Nobody messes with my brother!" That was it. That was it. His attack is so powerful and knocks out the Dark Celestials, Zombie Celestials, and Horde with only the final host left standing. The final host was done for. Before the Avengers assemble one more time to finish the battle, Thor and She-Hulk kiss again. And I thought that was a little bit out of place. Ghost Rider turns back to his normal form, and the Avengers confirm that he was the star of the show. They assemble one more time without zombie Celestials, but the original Celestials, such as Elon, on their side. The Celestials were back on their side, and they all together charge towards the final host. We get a nice shot of Odin smiling, with his fallen comrades from the 1 million BC Avengers looking over him. Loki says, "Welcome back, Avengers," which implies that maybe this was his plan all along, as if he knew they would win and he used them just to save the Earth. That's just my opinion though. Is Loki a hero after all? Okay, so the solicitation for the next episode shows that it is a flashback issue explaining the origin of the first Ghost Rider. And in this issue, we already got a preview at Avengers number 8, or 698, saying alien god discovered living inside with a picture of the final host. So that was it, YouTube. I think they could have made this issue number 6 giant size with a few more pages, a few extra pages at least, because it really did feel kind of rushed. So on to my review. The art was epic. The overall plot was rushed, like I said. I didn't like it. It was great for probably just Robbie Reyes, in my opinion, and so I only give it a half star. The writing was okay. I'm not exactly sure who the narrator was, but it was good. Was it Celestial? At times I was a little bit confused. The panels felt out of place, and sometimes the dialogue was out of place. For example, She-Hulk and Thor kissing before their final battle. That would have made for a happy ending, and an ending that would have made sense. So that's a half star. The character development, it was great, but it felt like only maybe for one character, Ghost Rider, maybe Loki. I'm not sure. I don't know. Is it absolutely worth the price tag? Yes, I do. I do think so. I still would have paid $3.99 for it. So my overall rating is only 3.5 out of 5 stars for this issue, and I actually went into reading it thinking it would blow me away, but it didn't. It was kind of underwhelming. So what do you think, YouTube? Do you agree? Let me know. Please don't forget to leave a comment, like this video, share it, and check out my other videos in my playlist if you don't have anything going on. This is the Comic Chief going offline.